post 30-year reunion journal entry. Exactly how it would be and is going to be when I'm going with this in the manual one. This is, current one. That's definitely I would write like I did before, like I talked before. Which, see, this is where I'm really loving it now. It's gelling the idea with the video journal and the written journal concept and doing them together. Because it's what, now that I've got a couple going, and this is always going, but what I'm noticing now is what I was hoping would happen is by doing both of them, at the same time, that it would enhance, how just for me, regular journal writing has always helped me at the very minimum, other than vent out, the cancer that's got to come out, the lava, but also it helps me to just kind of focus my ideas, or even when you can't do that, it's still, if you're able to make an entry and write, say a decent entry, at least a page or a half a page, not 2 sentences, you're, whether you like it or not, you're formulating the ideas in your head. Is one thing which everyone does. It's easy to have ideas and concepts in your head. I got 8 trillion a day or something, but taking them to the next level is really the thing, and it's not impossible. It just takes the off the ass and do, that's all. Whether you fail or not is insignificant, or it should be insignificant. And I'm not saying go out to lose, by no means. I'm approaching the subject of winning and my view on that and all that approach. I want to articulate that right and stuff before I put it out there, because I've tried doing it in mistaken attempts in the past at trying to open up to a female and talking and stuff, and most of them, doesn't work. Not all, there's some women who get it, and they're really cool. They're few and far between. All right. So the journal. All right. So it helps crystallize. It forces you to focus your thoughts and get them on paper. And what you get on paper doesn't matter. Just like when you get a thought or idea to do something, that's one part of it. But you really got to put in the fucking legwork and the effort and the get up and the go to go do it. And that's cheap. That's nothing. It costs no money. It comes from within, But then that's where a lot of people start with, I can't do it because of this, can't do it because of that, or I can't do it because of her, him, or, next week I'll do it tomorrow, or something like that, or I gotta get everything just right and do it right, perfect. No. Like, Tyler Durden, Fight Club. Let the chips fall where they may. Perfect thing. But anyway, so, okay. Back on idea, because I'm saying this a lot and freaking out over this and getting, all excited, stimulated over it, because most of the time my journal writing, I know when I read it, and especially looking at the stuff that I still have intact from 1993, is mostly the same. It's like a robot fucking wrote most of it. For me anyway. And every once in a while I get good stuff, but again, the main thing is to get bad stuff out, and get it out in a harmless, hopefully positive, creative manner. You can take it, twist it around, wrestle with it in your head, figure it out, beat it, put it in a good word combination, and then beat it again by pushing the message out to other people, and hopefully, something like they'll hear something that'll connect the dots. Just like I've went to shows and spoken word shows and read lots of books and things, and or martial arts, and get seminars and different teachers and different things. Like easily go to like a say 3-day seminar or 1-day seminar or a couple hours, or even something on the internet. If you're paying attention and it's good and everything's good, but you might just get one thing or 2 or 3 techniques or concepts or way of looking at something, or the instructor may say something like that one time I went to in Queens about 2 years ago, and one of my guys came with me, Kevin, and Luke Holloway was doing a tour, and he came to Queens, and I messaged him little ways, a couple months before this. This was like a couple years ago, and then because at the same time I was also taking his online, instructor's training thing for a couple months, and it was really good. Got a lot of great stuff out of it. I really loved. That was the only online thing I really liked that I did. But anyway, so he came, and Luke Holloway, I'm sure you've probably heard of him on YouTube and Combatives, a lot of videos, really, really popular. But so I messaged him, sent him a request, whatever. He took it, and I was like, "Is this the real Luke?" Like a fan. And he's like, yeah, but he was really cool. And so we kept in a little bit of touch, and like with just texting, few things, like right before the day of the seminar that he was doing. And when we got there, he was really cool. He was great. He's so great to train with people if you can, if they're making the effort and they're coming around to spread what they know. I don't give a fuck what kind of hoops you got to jump through to go. And learn, because if you might get something. And I got several things from that one couple hours training, and something like that is worth every single penny times 100. If you go home and practice it and polish it and get it into that. This is not supposed to be martial art ranting, I know, because it's cycling through me again. A lot of things, especially this time of year. This is the time of year I start lifting like weights like a maniac, with religious fervor, with obvious obsession with everything, and it's really good. I love it. So that's, well, I already started this week, calisthenics, again, push-ups, sit-ups, all my body weight stuff out there, training, and running, not much. I ran only a mile, and I felt like I was not dead, but I certainly didn't feel like I was in shape, and that pissed me off. So, then the weights will come in usually every year, like right in October. Yeah, and this is something I would be writing, because again, I believe too, by writing this stuff and stuff you're planning and wanting to do for yourself and design a life rather than a life, just happening. I knew that was going to piss me off and get in the way. Speaking of being pissed off, I was in such a good mood. I'm kind of still down a little bit after the reunion. I knew it. I'm always, if there's dancing and a dance floor, if I go to an event, something like that, it's another thing that I like to dance. I really like to dance. I was going to QXT after tonight just to literally dance. I like to dance. I don't know why, but for years, decades, you know. I still go. I'm 47 and I still go and dance my ass off. Like, I like it. It's fun, you know. And at one point years ago when I was training, before I was even a black belt, you know, and then I would go out dancing and I would time myself, my stopwatch while I was dancing, like into rounds. It's good exercise and I, you know, really go for it. And I would go for like 45 minutes, an hour, and just drip sweat, drink water, I don't drink alcohol. Really, I had 2 beers or 3 beers tonight. It was cool. Anyway, but the dancing, so they played, the DJ was kind of, annoyed me a little bit, man, because the music wasn't loud enough. At one point I went up and I went to turn, in his keyboard thing, I went to turn it up a little bit. He wasn't there. And, you know, I was waiting, you know, like, so I just, you know, I was gonna, and I just hear him going, hey, and I told him I was turn it up, and he turned it up, you know, like a micron of a fucking turn on. But I was good, you know, certainly not gonna get upset about that. So a couple of decent songs came and I was dancing, and then no one else was really dancing. A couple of the women were dancing for a while. And at one point, I was still doing something with the fucking video, me and the phone, you know, while there was one song, but then I finally put it away. And then they played Billy Idol, Dancing With Myself. That was great. Because that's when I was going through, like, my Billy Idol phase. I was 16 in high school, junior year, and I remember I was really into Billy Idol, and I wasn't really into any of the other bands out there. And I liked how his hair was different from everyone else's. Like, you know, it was, you know, white, and it was short, it was spiky, it wasn't long and beautiful and brown, luxurious, you know, like all that shit. Because I tried to grow my hair long when I was a freshman, when I was being a very bad kid in a way. I didn't. Well, I had no rule. I had no, you know, watching. I was being watched, but I didn't really still have to answer anyone then. Like, my mom tried to control me a little bit, but there's no father figure, nothing like that to, you know, rein me in. So I was just hanging around with a bunch of other kids like that. So I remember freshman year, and I was like almost a straight A student and stuff up until freshman year. And that's when I was trying to grow my hair, and I couldn't because I have really, really bad hair. I still do. When it grows long, it's really bad. It's wavy and it's long and disgusting. So I think I only went to school the first semester of high school, of freshman year. I think I only went a total like 2 weeks. I cut the rest of it. Maybe it was 3 or it was under a month, I know that. And then they pulled both my parents. That was the only other time I remember them being in a room together. I don't know, since I was young in a crib, and they were arguing, and then they split. And anyway, it's funny, you know, because and here's the circumstance, and the principal talking about, you know, kicking me out of the school. And they did whatever, they gave me another chance, and fuck! I want to show you, these are gold spoons, solid gold. So where am I going? Oh yeah. So they were going to kick me out, and they ended up letting me go back in, and as a result, I remember one day, freshman year, I walked home from school. It was in the fall. It was definitely in the fall, because I wasn't wearing a jacket. And I came home, and my mom said, right as I came walking in the door, she's like, "You gotta leave. You can't stay here anymore. You gotta go." Because she was trying to do it for my own good, because kids I was hanging around with not, you know, they weren't they were the same as me, but we were getting into, you know, doing drugs and stuff. You know, when I was 13, 14, I was young going into school. I was a 13-year-old freshman up until October 19th. So, and see, like acid, stuff like, and I think I even threw up on my mother, I think that Friday night before I went out with them and I did acid for the first time, and meth, I think it was. I absolutely kind of hated it. But anyway, so I didn't really freak out or nothing. I was used to moving a lot already. You know, I went to a shitload of schools for that. And so it's kind of weird now when I look at it. So I remember the day, and I just walked across town to here, to my grandfather's, the estate, Fortress of Solitude here, and because my dad was here at the time, and I just started living here by myself, you know, with everyone. There's always food and table and all that stuff, but, you know, and then I was left to, you know, I got myself up for school and did my laundry, all that, and, you know, managed myself, you know, at that age. And the point is about the reunion and my Billy Idol phase was, I think I was saying about the no father figure. That was a kind of a long tail I tied onto that kite. I tend to do that as long as I remember to get back to where I started. So in junior year, I was that little bit of, I guess, wild punk craziness in me started just breaking out a little bit, and no tattoos then. Although I did get my first tattoo while I was in high school. I was a senior year. I got my first tattoo. But just to rebel, and the thing I remember about it's funny looking back now. I could never get the hair color right. I could never, you know, I went to places. My mom helped me. I could never get it the way I want. I could never get it white back then. I could never get it fucking white. It was always yellow-ish. Sometimes it was close, but I did that. And a few other kids in high school were dying here too, like Brian Bosworth and stuff. That's the funny kid shit you do. What does that have to do with the post-reunion? With the reunion? Maybe it'll come back to me. All right, this is probably getting late a little bit. But I also have earlier today I did the reunion tape, like, and how I was feeling. I was nervous before and stuff, and I forget already all the stuff I said, but I have it set up already, so I just gotta link the two and do that, so that'll be kind of fun. And did good couple martial art videos just now. I'm just getting started with all that stuff. And eventually a lot of things planning, and then when I can figure it out, then I'm going to open up to take a few more students for the year, and then that's it for the year. And the book, can't wait to get the book and the spoken word stuff in the live places. I found my list. Another one. I don't know if I read it before. I think I read it before on it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But, you know, so I plan to hit at least, my goal is to hit at least 3 of them this week. Or 2, and this one, or just 1 and at least one other one. This is a good one in New York City. The New York, I can never pronounce this. New York Poets Cafe. New Yorkin. Sounds like there's a missing letter in there, you know? Yeah, see. New Yorkian. Alright, New Yorkian Poets Cafe, East 3rd Street, New York, open mic. I'm getting ready, so I'm getting this set right every night. and they sometimes, I'm getting some good copying, rewriting. And I got that printer in my drawer, I still haven't opened it. Alright, let me get to what I was getting. I'm rambling, man. I didn't even eat my ice. This is my treat on the weekends. I have, I either go to Rita's or I eat some Lindy's if I have it. Watermelon sucks. I never finish these. Rita's I do. Yuck. Fuck you, no. Oh, the spoons, check this out. These are solid gold spoons. Really cool, they are, they're from a set. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'll wash it and put it back. Oh, no more, I don't want no more garbage. Alright, so I'm a little pissed off. I was in a really good mood for me after the reunion, because it's good dancing, funny. So, did I finish the dancing thing? Oh, so yeah, no I didn't. So we're dancing and Billy Idol came on, and that's where the hair thing, I went, Jesus, going all over. So Billy Idol, and that, now I'm in that reunion, it was fun, mode, and I guess I guess you can't, you're surrounded by all those people, you can't help but think and kind of go back to the 1989, that time frame, and Billy Idol, they played Billy Idol, Dancing with Myself too, holy shit, my song. And because that's me, all the time, 100% dancing. I'm by myself on the dance floor. That's not true. I've danced with women. That's cool when I do. It's the brave ones who do with me, and I slow it up. There's been a few times let's see, true story. I stepped on feet, headbutted, chick going down the top door. And it was just me. I was the only person dancing on the whole dance floor to dance with myself, and everyone was, no doubt, probably laughing their asses off at me. Looking silly, all by myself. Going for it, because I really love Billy Idol. He's awesome. He's still touring. He's still doing his thing. And he's what, almost 70. I look at that, and not only is that awesome, it makes me think one thing. Look at what is possible for me. And anyone. You look at people like that. Other people look at people like that and jealous. Like, he sucks. He should give it up. How pathetic. He's nothing. No, I saw an interview. He said music is his drug, ultimate drug for him, and he just likes to play, and I get that, and fucking what a win. That has nothing to do with money. If you could do something for your life that you love to do, that is not work in a way, it almost feels like playing in a way, or that's the greatest, and creating and stuff. And creating for me has taken different reasons throughout my life. The written creating kind of took its only low during my marriage years. I didn't write those. No, I kept that one journal in 2001, year 9/11, of course, January to the end. But I didn't do hardly any of the poems and the writing and that kind of stuff at all for maybe 10 years. And then when the divorce came, and that's when the heavy blues come, and then that's when the good art comes, the good writing, if you can do it and channel it and not do other terrible things that only make your situation worse. Luckily for me, when that happened, I fucking cleaned up and straightened up literally overnight, and ever since, 10 years now, it was one of the things that woke me up. Alright, so I was there, but I had fun, you know, I had fun dancing, and I do the same thing in QXTs a lot. Get there early, or any place that there's dancing. If I like the song, again, that's another thing, like with me, another one of my reactions, like if you pick up, you'll say something hot, you don't know it's just in there hot, like a pancake thing or something, you know, you pick it up, like, there's no, you do it before you realize you've done it and it's already in motion. So that's kind of like me with dancing, and if it's a particular couple bands, especially the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I have literally no control. If I'm in a dance environment and you can dance, or there's a dance floor, I'll push and move and go out. I've pulled. I have an example too. The one and only time I ever worked as a bouncer for one summer was down in LBI at this place my friend Troy, my brother from another mother, Troy, runs the security there for like 20 years, and he's head of the security. And me and him started training together. I was a white belt, he was a yellow belt when I signed up, and we had the same teacher. We went all the way. And I'm still in touch with him in 28 years. But anyway, so he had, you know, part-time bouncer work that I can get in. The Shell's like they had a lot of people. They got a lot of people at the Tiki Bar outside, Tiki Bar and stuff. So, wait. So with the one and only bouncer job, divorce, I'm free associating too much. You know. Fucking crickets out there, you know. They're gone here though, notice that?
Woke up this morning, started to snooze, had a cigarette and a cup of tea. I looked in the mirror, what did I see? A 9 stone week